Hello, new listeners. I'm Adam, one of the hosts of Finding Monster Right, contacting you from the future. What you're currently on track to listen to is our first episode, Zombies, It's What's for Dinner. We were still finding our voices in the first couple of episodes, and because the show is largely non-episodic, we highly recommend you check out any other episode from, episode 3 onward. Seriously, we've talked about Bigfoot, the Urukai, Grendel's mom, LL Cool J's shark-human hybrid, witches, Davy Jones, gargoyles, Wookiees, oozes, Spring-Heeled Jack, Bill Cipher. You get it. If you like any of those, I recommend you search for them on the feed. Otherwise, if you're some kind of completionist, here's our first episode. Enjoy. Welcome to Finding Monster Rights, a podcast about monsters. I'm Adam.
And my name was stolen by a witch.
And today's monster is zombies. A singular monster is multiple zombies. That is correct, you heard right.
We are breaking new ground in this, our inaugural pilot episode.
Yes, breaking new ground and crawling out of it.
Ooh, yes.
Nibbling at ankles and reaching for legs.
Do zombies nibble at ankles?
If they're I guess if they can't reach a higher part.
I guess. Well,
so
I guess the meaty part is I think they would suck on the toes first. Because if you're looking at a foot, what's the part that's got the most non-bone parts in it? It's got to be the toes, right?
Yeah, I'm not gonna kink shame them, but. It's a good move. Solid.
Well, it's
move.
It's not kinky. They're biting toes off. I don't know if that's kinky.
It's a little kinky.
This is an awful start, and I'm sorry I've done it.
So there's many types of zombies out there. In various incarnations across different movies and film and stuff. Typically, I mean, your most watered down, boiled down zombie. What are the three words that you would describe a zombie with?
3 words that best describe zombies are people, but worse.
Pretty much.
That's why I'm not afraid of zombies.
No, you're because you're afraid of regular people?
No, I'm just saying I'm a regular person, in a sense. So I am better than any zombie. I will 1v1 any zombie or any ghost. That is my rule for this monstery show.
So, I think I could see that, honestly, that a zombie is a person, but, in small, with less capacity for knowledge.
Yeah. The scary thing's not, and also less capacity for skin.
And, muscle function, speed.
Except sometimes when it's not.
Yes. And 28... I was supposed to say weeks and days, but instead I just said the first part of it twice.
The 28 later zombies.
Yes. The catch you later zombies run super duper fast.
Why on earth does 28 later sound like a K-pop band to me? I don't listen to K-pop. I don't know if that's true, but it just feels right.
I think it's time for a good old-fashioned spook-off.
I think that's the only way to get this sorted, yeah.
Now that K-pop has been evoked.
That's the rule. Inaugural episode. The only rules are the ones we make up.
I think there's going to be a new rule every episode. That's a new rule.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. Oh, jeez. Oh, no. We can swear, right? We settled on yes to swearing?
Yes.
Fuck yeah. All right.
So... the way this works is that we've both written a little spooky, ooky paragraph here to see who can get zombies across in the most eerie way.
Yes, this is about whose intro is spookier, not necessarily better.
Yes. Would you like to do the honors?
No. Would you?
Yes.
All right, that settles it.
All right. So, well, I assume as we go along, we'll get better at this. And I'm still, this is spooky, but it's also kind of snickety and a little Rod Sterling-y, but
Okay, it's spooky and snickety and Sterling-y.
Those are the 3 words that describe this. Okay. So I'll begin. The visage of death, a cadaver, a corpse, or when found on the side of a road, a carcass, is an uncomfortable reminder of how delicate life can be. So uncomfortable, we bury these remains, as we have for thousands of years, hoping 6 feet of earth and stones keeps their decay from tainting our paradise. Sometimes, that's not enough. The dead come back to life, and hunger for a bite of the life that they're missing. And they're ravenous. That's my entry to the spook off.
That is, I've got chills, I've got thrills, I've even got some wills that are invalid now that I'm a zombie.
In that case, I will rank that as a thrills of the Michael Jackson variety.
Ooh, okay. It's a good reference.
All right, your turn, and go slow so I can come up with a better and a reference equally good to that.
Okay.
All right.
What madness lies in the heart of man? What madness lies in his bones? What madness lies deep, deep down when man is reduced to an animal, less than an animal? Only the basemost functions remain. When maintenance of the body can no longer happen, a creature is considered undead. And when that happens, there is no hope for revival. There is no hope for anything but the annihilation of the soul on a level that is so deeply profound that one has to confront the reality that there is no higher reality. All we are is meat. All we are is meat. All we are is meat. Zombies.
Oh man.
Okay.
So I like how you looped it back to our tentative title here. Zombies. It's what's for dinner.
Zombies. It's what's for dinner. That's actually an idea that I'm gonna have. That I've had cooking for a while. I just keep doing it.
Yeah, no, but that intro cooks. That's a hot item.
Is that my ranking?
Yeah. It's not chili, but it's like almost spicy.
Well, that's exactly the opposite of what I wanted. Then you want if you want it to give you chills and thrills, and it's cooking, then that's not.
To be
chili.
honest, it was very backloaded for me. Once you kept saying meats, you activated like a hunger inside me.
Hey, that's extremely good. Then I can turn people into zombies with my word.
There's a good connotation, like we're on the same page, me and the zombies. So yes, our focal point here, zombies and food.
Yeah, Adam okay, this title was your idea. You posted in the Facebook chat, you said, zombies, it's what's for dinner, and did not elaborate. And I'd like to know how exactly you came to this idea. Not necessarily what it means, but just how you thought of it.
So there's something, like I said, there's connotation between those two things. Of course, classic meat, it's what's for dinner, and zombies, they eat brains, they eat, human flesh, they crave. If there's a single human emotion left in them, it is that hunger, that ravenousness I mentioned in my intro. So I thought from two different perspectives, it could be I don't know. It's what would go better. If I was a zombie, not. If you were a picky zombie,
if I was a zombie, who would be me?
Yeah, if you had to become the unliving dead, and I think they all have a singular obsession with things, with food items and such.
Why are they so obsessed with meat?
I don't know.
Stupid joke. Never mind.
I'm kind of I'm rambling here. I'm not really sure where to take this.
Oh, well, allow me to take us away to a segment that I recorded earlier this fine morning. It is 8 o'clock at night right now, and I recorded this at 1 p.m., so I don't know where I was coming from there. Words are hard. So I'm a sucker for post-apocalyptic stuff.
Yes.
That's my big thing. Not my biggest thing. Since we're doing zombies in our premiere episode, I figured, hey, I'm in an apocalypse right now.
Yep.
Why don't I leave my zombie-free safe zone and just get a taste of that sweetest of freedoms, the kind that can only be found in the blighted, fallow hellscape of the Aftermen.
All right, so I just pulled into the Wise Market place, whatever it's called, and we're gonna shop during the coronavirus pandemic, and this is what I'm counting as research for our zombie episode. So, here we go.
Social distancing was nice and familiar, but I wanted something. Knorr brand instant rice. The kind that comes in all kinds of flavors and that any complete loser can prepare sufficiently. I would know. Knorr was my favorite brand in the before times. I wanted freedom, but in a more concrete sense, I wanted that rice. Unfortunately for my cool crossing the threshold moment, I had left my sunglasses in the car with all my Carly Rae Jepsen CDs.
All right, if I had sunglasses on right now, I would say I'm in.
I encountered many slings and arrows in my rice quest. The siren of compromising the mission sang ever on, illuminated by the fluorescent lights of apathy and perfidy.
All right, I found some Knorr, but it's all the noodles. I don't want the noodle version of Knorr. I want the rice Knorr. And that might not be in the same place. Or maybe all hope is lost.
I thought I had reached my lowest point, but just as soon as I found my sacred boon, the reality of this unfamiliar afterworld took me into its arms again and shook me from my LA hallucinations.
All available managers and available associates to receiving for a huddle. Thank you.
Okay, I've just found the Knorr rice, and also, I guess there's zombies now, so I've got to act quickly.
Even under the threat of zombification, I performed an act of mercy. Maybe altruism doesn't come from the laws we follow or the gods we worship, but from within the human heart itself.
I got slightly less than I wanted, but I left one thing of teriyaki rice on the shelf, even though I desperately wanted it, because I figured, you know what? Someone else should take it.
My secular humanism thus completely validated, I was ready to cross the return threshold. I attempted to barter, offering lamb fat and the fruits of the soil in exchange for my prize, but my economic pleas fell on deaf ears.
$1.
Despite that, I was ready to get back to safety, with a little more in tow than I had bargained for.
Where did I park? Oh gosh. The zombie virus was already eating my brain, and I can't remember where I parked. There I parked. I parked right there? Okay, we're good. And you know what? I think I learned something. Because in my quest to socially distance myself, I made the realest friend of all. Responsibility. And that's what zombies are really a metaphor for. Alright, later babes.
The end? And that's my remote segment.
All right. It's a dangerous world out there.
My modular remote segment that can be taken out if it ends up being bad.
Okay. So on the topic of zombies and food, I would like to play a little game with you.
All right.
A little game we know as Monster Rehab.
They tried to make me go to Monster Rehab, and I said, no, I'd rather just keep quoting songs over and over like it's the only kind of joke I can make. Let's do Monster Rehab.
So the way this works is that we take our creature of the day, our zombies, and try to sort them into normal society. Besides the unrelenting masses found at the uh, panic-driven grocery stores. Where do you think a zombie would be best suited in the everyday world?
Okay, this is my thing.
Mm-hmm.
Farm. Zombie farm.
Oh, they're not the farmers. They're the cattle.
They're both.
Oh, okay.
Some of the zombies are cattle. Some of the zombies are cowboys. Or whatever you call the person that takes care of cows. I assume cowboys.
Cowboy works. I'm fine referring to them as cowboys for the rest of my days.
Cowpokes. Cowpokes, let's be inclusive. Zombies don't really have a gender identity, do they?
I believe they're beyond that. They've transcended to...
In many ways more advanced than we are.
Yeah, it's weird how you boil things down like to their bare essence. And things become easier.
All we are is meat. So, speaking of all we are is meat, this is my point for Zombie Farm. Ethical meat.
So, meat that you don't have to feel guilty about?
Meat that you don't have to feel guilty about. It was a zombie. It's not like a cow or something that is smart and can, like, you put a paintbrush in its mouth or something, like all animals can do, I guess.
Do you think a zombie would taste good?
Depends on how old it is. I think some of the cowpoke zombies are going to be, like, taking care of successive generations of zombies until they turn into skeletons themselves, and then they are cowpoke skeletons. And at that point, there's no meat left on them, obviously. But I think, like, what happens is you take the fresh zombies, and you just, destroy them in whatever way is appropriate, and then you just take off the meat and put the meat in some cellophane and take it to Redner's or Wise or Food Lion or any other grocery establishment.
So I like how eco-friendly a zombie farm might be, because it's like, you're going to die anyway.
Yeah.
If you get someone that's about to die and you just turn them into a zombie, then it's like, hey, you can go off to the zombie farm.
Here's the other thing. Gross. I don't want to eat dead meat. Hey, buddy, guess what you're eating all the time? Dead meat.
Ah, that's true. I didn't even consider that, hey, we're just,
Unless you're like going out to farms and just like lounging lazily on the branch of an acacia tree like a leopard and just leaping down on cattle, all you're eating is dead meat.
So it's not cannibalism.
No, because they're zombies. They're not people. I mean, they can't vote, so...
You lost me for a sec, but you're right.
They can't, no.
If you're not a people until you can vote.
You're not a people until you can vote. It's okay to eat kids. That's what the witch told me.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's okay. I think that just in the food realm, an idea for a character came to mind talking about zombies in the real in like society, and I'd really like to see like a zombie like chef.
I mean, hey, yeah, no, I think this can fit in.
It might be the logical progression after the farmer, but like a zombie that like cares about the food that's being prepared. Because most zombies are kind of like, I put them at the other end of the spectrum where they're just like, they'll shove whatever, they find, like a naughty child or eccentric dog.
You never see zombies eating zombies.
Which they totally should.
Yeah, like, what's the difference? They don't know.
Yeah, unless it's a mythology, a story type where it's like, oh man, it's got to be living flesh.
Yeah, but like, unless it's that's always a thing in like your sci-fi zombies where like they have the disease and so they only attack people that don't have the disease. How does the disease know that? How does the disease interface with all of your like higher functions, which the disease itself explicitly gets rid of?
Yeah, unless it's some kind of a super organism of sorts, which
this alien thing.
Which is probably my least favorite like movie villain trope. when it's, oh, we're fighting all the aliens, and you just gotta take out the one, and then they're all done. Like,
My question.
it's way more threatening and spooky or unsettling if it's more like, say, Ultron in Avengers 2, where it's like, oh no, they can all be Ultron. You gotta hunt each one of them down.
Didn't they also do that with Ultron, though? There is, like, one Ultron that is just Ultron.
Yeah, I think the movie ends with Vision finding like the last Ultron bot.
Well, no, not even. I'm pretty sure that they blow up the main Ultron bot and then all the others. No, that can't happen, can it?
Nope.
No, never mind. I was wrong about Avengers 2.
That's a fair Avengers to be. But the what do you call it? The enemies of the first Avengers are the opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah, you flip the switch, you change a nuke around, you do some finishing move, and then they're all out for the count.
All right, so walking back a step,
very slowly, or like
really fast. 28 later, zombie step.
Okay.
So, how does the zombie chef know how to do its job?
I mean, listen, that's not zombie specific. I can't tell you how many times I've been sitting at work and being like, how was I supposed to know this?
You know what? Okay, fantastic point. I've been there also.
Yeah.
That's extremely true. I wasn't even thinking about that part.
Or very swiftly you're shoved to a spot and you're like, how did I get here?
Yeah. This leads me to another conclusion that I've drawn. Quite alarmingly, what if zombies' place in society is just replacing the entire workforce?
So, like, better than robots?
It's better than robots because they're wet. It's better than robots because they can go to work in the rain.
Oh, okay, right, yes. That's... I knew that's what you meant.
Yes, of course. What else could I have possibly meant by that? I don't know, actually. But...
All right, so limping back one more time, I just want to say, there's something to be said about muscle memory. That's pretty much all that's powering a zombie afterwards. And so your body, an athlete's body, already knows how to, the reflexes when it comes to punching, leaping, sprinting, no matter what. They train themselves that way. I think after death, even so, those muscles memories could still be there. So, yeah, a workforce employee who dies and becomes a zombie might still have those same reflexes. to at the register, moving the arm across its beep, grabbing the next thing, moving it across.
Can you retrain a zombie? Because my supposition is yes.
Let's see.
I want spoiled rich people that never worked a day in their life, which will be, everyone after my zombie workers union takes off. I want them to be able to be retrained.
Because you can feed them, they could be trained. I think that's my logic there.
Just like, or like, what's like a clicker? Like, just train them to like scan groceries or whatever.
Yeah, you can reward a zombie with something that it wants / needs.
More
therefore, you can train it.
Zombie. That's what you reward them with.
More zombies.
More zombie meat.
I think that we can truly have a very tight ecosystem here.
My larger concern with this is, did we just create a soft zombie apocalypse?
How's that?
Like, not one where they eat all of us, but one where, like, they take over.
Because
at this point, what's the point of people?
Huh. I guess... So people start as zombies? No, zombies start as people. No,
yes. Okay, so we're just the facehuggers of the zombie life cycle.
Yeah, we jumpstart things, but yeah, no, you're right. Which is which is perfect if like we had like a city or like a colony of some kind, and we're just like, put the put the products on this assembly line, and the truck will come in the morning, and we just get zombies to just kind of do it. It's not amoral.
What if the zombies learn that people make zombies, and then the zombies create their own industry of turning people into zombies? Like they just...
Yep, that's the rabbit hole.
Well, then it just becomes like a situation where we become the larval stage of the zombie. Like, it's just a question of considering where the life cycle begins and ends, and then, like, a really super old person would only be middle-aged.
I think that we need to build some kind of kill switch into this zombie society. So, I'm going to go back on what I said 10 minutes ago, and there should be a button that if you press it, all the zombies go away.
Okay, yes. That's why it's always
in
there.
retrospect, it's a pretty good idea.
Yep.
For this exact occasion.
Wow, I didn't know this would happen so quickly, but it did.
Yeah. I could very well see this being a bad scenario for anyone that is not a zombie.
Which is everyone.
Yes.
Because zombies aren't ones.
Zombies are a finite resource. That's what's fortunate, right?
Yeah.
They can't reproduce.
Well, they can reproduce. They can bite people and make zombies.
Correct, but if you run out of people, you run out of zombies.
Bite animals.
Okay, now we're in a whole new ball game. Reset the scoreboard. Because we've got bases loaded with zombie animals.
Can zombie animals vote? I was going to ask if they can be a thing, but I think that's a better question.
Zombies can't vote. Animals can't vote. I don't think this is like a
two wrongs
negatives.
Make a right. Two wrongs make a right. No, I think zombie animals can vote.
Two wrongs don't make a right. That's the thing. They don't. That's
two wrongs always make a right. That's how it works.
All right.
Just like how two rights don't make a left. Don't believe me? Go right and then go right. Now you're just going kind of sideways. That's not left.
So let's rewind the clock here for a sec. I want to talk a little bit about zombie origin stories.
There's a lot of necromancy going on in this episode. Because like we're just bringing back things that we were talking about 10 minutes ago that were more productive.
I guess what I'm saying is that Patient Zero, your original zombie, like what are different types and occasions and occurrences of that? Because first of all, they're all fictitious. I don't want to. When people prep for a zombie apocalypse, I'm like, this isn't really a thing, It's like prepping for dragons.
Yeah, no, that's not. That's the thing.
Yeah,
I think people prepping for zombie apocalypse, I think that kind of fell out of favor sometime in the early 2010s.
I certainly hope so.
Like, everybody just got so goddamn tired of it, which is the perfect time for zombies to come.
Everyone's just so done with them.
Yeah, everyone's just so... What if there was a war and no one came? What if there was a zombie apocalypse and no one gave a shit?
Yeah, we just make them part of our workforce. Feed them themselves. And everything solves itself.
Adam, in 2011, what was your zombie attack plan?
Oh, man. I think I read so I played like a Flash game sometime around then. I remember it today, so I definitely remembered it back then. And it involved... It went over like how prepared are you, and it gives you options and stuff like that, which weren't... In retrospect, the options were very terrible. Like, it was like, which vehicle would you choose? And there's 4. Car, motorcycle, bicycle, and like that one was like horse.
Bicycle.
I think bicycle is like, in retrospect, I think that's the correct answer, but I think they said horse. I don't know
horse
why
might
they're...
get zombied. Horse needs grass. Horse can die. Bicycle can't die. Bicycle lives forever.
Yeah, I guess a horse has a renewable amount of it to it. It sleeps when you sleep. It can run super fast, and all you need is grass. I think that people
feel
that
like
just like
that's
horses.
Yeah, that's an underestimation of how, like, if that were all that it was, I could take care of a horse right now, and I can't take care of a horse right now.
Yeah, at the time, I think I said motorcycle, but they're like, no, wait, gas tank too small.
No, gas won't work after a while.
Yeah.
Gas goes away. Grass goes away. Bicycle is forever. Bicycle never fucking says die.
Yes, I'm not gonna point to the rust. I'm just gonna say,
Rust can be dealt with. Horse, broken leg, dead. Rust can be cleaned.
You're right.
If too rusty, find new bicycle. Pretty easy compared to horse.
I like that that this caveman persona is in favor of bike over horse.
Caveman no trust. Gigantic dog. Caveman think gigantic dog moved from grass to caveman. Caveman no trust big dog. Caveman like bicycle.
All right.
Anyway, my zombie plan in 2011 was definitely my parents have this law narrator in the shed, and it's just like this big thing with a long handle and then like some little just shurikens just on the end. It's supposed to poke holes in the lawn for some reason, and I thought that would be very satisfying to just whack some zombies in the face with.
I don't disagree.
Whack a zombo. It's all the fun of stabbing a zombie, but none of the guilt.
I think my current plan would just be go to the mountains, Appalachian Mountains.
Yeah.
Head up away from things. It's one of those. I've got a book on my shelf that's like how to build a log cabin. I give that a shot.
I got a book on my shelf about how to find edible plants.
Oh, hey. So here's our new plan. If the fictitious becomes nonfiction,
if the fictitious becomes the ficticker,
we load up a car with a bunch of books, and then go into the mountains, and then hope that's enough.
We are the nerdiest people ever. Like, if the zombies happen, we'll have our books.
Yeah. That's what we need, a collapse of society.
Yeah. No. Oh man, what if my glasses break? I should get LASIK before the apocalypse.
Yeah, it's a good plan.
We've all seen the Twilight Zone episode. We all know what that one's about. Mrs. Hennessy showed it for all of us in 8th grade. Mrs. Hennessy was all of our 8th grade teachers, and we all saw the Twilight Zone episode where the guy's glasses break because he sleeps in a bank or whatever. I think there's more to it than that, but that's about right.
Hey kids, don't sleep in banks.
That's pretty good moral.
Which, that episode does not have a moral to it.
No, it really doesn't.
No. The moral is that, you know what? Life sucks. And sometimes it gets worse.
That's how the Twilight Zone is sometimes, though.
Yeah, I've been on a fix myself. Sometimes you just meet people and they put you in a zoo.
It really do be like that sometimes, though.
Which is not a good episode for our current predicament.
Oh wow, yeah, the zombies have started already, haven't they?
Yeah, or more the I'll be locked in this. Sure, I'll be locked in this nice apartment. I'm just waiting for the walls to go away and to people be looking in on me.
See, if the zombie apocalypse did happen, I might go to your apartment, because as we were just discussing before we started recording, I do worship your apartment as a deity, because it has gone from being a living thing, just like all the different parts of it connect to one another, because there's just like piles of stuff all over your apartment. And they communicate to one another because the piles have grown so complex that they've actually started to form like neural bridges and stuff. And that organism has evolved past the simple needs of squirm around and reproduce, and has now gone to become a god, which I now worship, and my worship gives it power according to Kuo-toa rules.
Yeah, I've before recording, I opened I flipped essentially giant switches, being curtains and doors and air systems. So yeah, no, it's I this thing has power for certain.
You're gonna wake up at 2 a.m. tonight and find just like a glowing endoplasmic reticulum forming on your ceiling. Just shooting off proteins into those Golgi bodies. I forget everything about cellular biology that I learned in middle school. And Lord knows I've forgotten the Krebs cycle.
It becomes it becomes the power cell of my house.
Yes. As a biological sciences type major, I did have to learn the Krebs cycle multiple times between the ages of, let's say, 11 and 24, and you know what? I cannot remember a single thing about any of the Krebs cycle at all.
It sounds like a Star Trek arc.
It does.
We
are the Krebs.
Yeah, no, it's they invade for they take over the ship for 2 episodes, and the 3rd episode they go away.
Captain, what do we do about the Krebs? We make love to them. Are you sure? Yes. But they're Krebs, sir. I know. That's why we need to do it.
Do we have any other 60s sci-fi shows to reference before we close up here?
Does Gilligan's Island count?
So you're more familiar than I. Would you call their visitors and various occasions of the island supernatural?
Yes, absolutely. I think there are some episodes where there's literally a supernatural thing going on.
Oh, really? There's it's the god of the island is here?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure something like that happens. And then once they had a beauty pageant for some fucking reason.
There's wow. So, to wrap this all up, which member of Gilligan's Island do you think is actually a zombie?
Gilligan.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
3 reasons, please.
If he were a zombie, he wouldn't know. It'd be really funny to see him bite people. And also, the skipper is clearly the tastiest, and they're the ones that hang out the most.
I can't argue with that. All right.
I feel like Gilligan would start it, but how would Gilligan start the zombie apocalypse on his eponymous island?
He's the incompetent one, correct?
Yes.
So
have you seen the Gilligan Island?
I've watched an episode or 2.
I've watched most of season 2. I had it on DVD at some point.
Yeah, I believe I watched an episode with you. I believe there were Russians.
Yeah, that's a lot of episodes.
The Russians landed on the island and they tried to get their sub, and they had a drinking contest with vodka and water, and they were really drinking water while they were drinking vodka. And they switched the glasses in the end, and they finished by having the water, and that was enough to put them over.
I don't remember that episode. But what I do know is that the way Gilligan would start the zombie apocalypse on Gilligan's Island would be just he would find a bird that was carrying the zombie plague, and it would just kind of hit a tree and die, and he'd pick it up and feel really bad for it, but then just be like, if only there was some way I could take this bird with me forever. And then he'd eat it, because that's the kind of thing that Gilligan does. And then he would start having weird symptoms, and the professor would be like, luckily I have a book and an entire hospital that I brought with me to Gilligan's Island for no reason. And then Marianne and Ginger would go off and do nothing and be completely useless characters because it was the 60s and women weren't allowed to be people yet. And then Thurston Howell would be like, bleh. And then it would be like, oh, Thurston, he's so cool. And be like, bleh. But he's not a zombie. That's just the way Thurston Howell is.
Oh man,
then Gilligan would be a zombie, and then he would eat everybody, and that's how it would happen. And then it would just be fine the next episode.
So 3 seasons, huh?
I think maybe 4. I think there was 3 and then like a halfer, and then there were like a couple of movies where they fought the Globetrotters or whatever. That's not what happened.
Oh, man. I think that more people should fight the Globetrotters instead of playing basketball with them.
Yeah, what is the Globetrotters' combat capabilities?
I want to see those Three Stooges antics with catch the bomb.
Alright, who would win in a fight between the Globetrotters and the Three Stooges? I say the Globetrotters because there's many more of them.
There's many more of them, and they're competent at what they do. They've only lost like 1 game.
And then I remember reading about that thing where it's like the Harlem Globetrotters have only lost 1 game, and it's like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Who wants to go to a basketball game and see the same people win over and over?
Also a Twilight Zone episode, but I digress.
Yep. Oh, wow.
Yeah, well, I think we've looped enough times, and we should bring this into the station here.
Yeah. No, this we need to go and take this zombie train back to the zombie farm.
Final, I believe, what do we call it? Final rating place.
The final rating place.
Yes, where we lay this topic to rest with a final score. From what we discussed, their efficiency, they're very friendly and all very. I wouldn't mind a society with zombies in it until I do mind it. So. Half good, maybe like a 6 out of 10.
I'm gonna rate it on a different, funnier scale, but I forget what that bit was going to be when we planned this final rating place segment. So instead, I will go ahead and give the zombies a 0 out of 10 because
no good.
I now fear them. But not in like a physical way, but more in like a societal way, because they are better than us at being a society.
It's not a monster fear, but it's definitely scary.
They're better than us, like ants are better than us. What if there was a zombie queen?
And you kill her and they all die.
Yes. Okay. So that's our situation. We need to. All right, well, that bumped it up to a 2, I think. Actually, no, 10 out of 10 for me.
Do you think it's regressive that the zombies have a monarchy?
If I were a zombie, I would say yes, but since I'm not, I will say no, because I want the zombies to fail.
When it comes to identity politics, they seem pretty forward, so it's like, it'd be a little unfortunate that they have gone that far, but then there's...
Zombies have 2 genders, worker and queen.
Yep, I will. I am fine with that system.
That's 1 less than ants. Ants also have drones, and also it's way more complicated than that. But sure, workers, drones, and queens. But that makes zombies less than ants, and that. Oh gosh, I'm so confused. 10 out of 10 for zombies.
Let's leave the zombies to the ants.
Yes.
And, all right. I guess we'll be back next time with another spooky monster as we try and find Monster Right. Well, actually, you know what? Are zombies Monster Right? This is a question that I think we propose every episode.
Isn't that final rating place?
Yes.
Okay.
We've rated them. So I guess a 10 out of 10 would be Monster Right.
Yeah, they're Monster Right.
All right.
I gave them 10 out of 10. You gave them 6.
Yeah, so not my Monster Right. Needs a little more meat on those bones.
I guess that works better for skeletons.
Oh, right. Needs. I'm not gonna.
Music by Kevin MacLeod at Incompetech.com. We don't have our social media yet, but we will get there soon. Thanks for listening.
Are we gonna stop this?
I guess we're gonna stop this here.
I think I made a Twitter handle for us.
Did you make a Twitter handle for us? Because in that case, don't stop it yet.
Okay, I need to recall what it was. You can find us on Twitter at MonsterRightPod.
You can find us on Gmail one of these days.
Twitter, I think, is all we need.
Yeah, we only really
need
it. Should we get Facebook? I don't think we need it.
I don't think we need it.
Who cares about Facebook? Hey,
Twitter...
Facebook, pay up. Then maybe we'll put a page on Facebook.
All right. at MonsterPod to reach out to us and suggest a monster of your choice.
Brains. We never said brains.